little background. Hi guys, welcome. I'm so excited. This is our big second talk show of STEMsation Spotlight. Normally we have one STEMsation, but we wanted to enrich the conversation. So I'll give us a little background. Let me do this. I'm trying to learn how to work the cameras. Okay. Hi, I'm Nikki Washington, CEO and founder of Knowledge Innate Enterprises, where we inspire and encourage girls to have confidence, character in class as we try to get them to become future leaders. And we're kind of biased. We want them to become future STEM leaders. But we understand if they don't become STEM leaders, we want to just equip them, empower them with the tools to make sure that they have those tools to be successful in whatever you choose in life. I just want to welcome you guys to this wonderful Sunday evening. We're a little bit early. We normally come on at 6, but we're coming on at 5 to accommodate everyone's schedule. So I just want you to meet our STEMsations. We're going to have a rich and just a diverse conversation because they come from diverse backgrounds. So just to have them on our show, I like to thank them. We like this to be as interactive as possible. So if you guys can send your likes, hearts, ask questions, feel free to do that. I'm going to add their STEMsation article at the bottom in the comments. So if you have not checked out whoa, we got like a bad storm here. I'm like, that didn't sound good. Let me see. I'm trying to paste it didn't go. Hold on. I want to try to paste their actual article before we get started, and then I'll introduce them and trying to get more people to come on. But welcome everyone. The first STEMsation Spotlight I did post right now is of Kayla Jordan. And so if you have not read about her yet, please check her out. And then the second one, let me make sure I can get it posted. And so that'll be there for you guys. All right. It's Minda. And Minda, let me let her say her last name.
Mendandor.
Mendandor. Look at her accent. I just love it. All right, ladies, we're ready to begin. Welcome, welcome. So I just want to say thank you guys for spending the time doing the questionnaire. I know it was a lot, but your articles I've been checking the numbers. We've got a lot of great feedback. So continue to share the articles out to everyone.
Great.
If you have not read the article, please share it out to everyone because this is amazing. These two STEMsations are awesome. Also, I forgot to tell us what a STEMsation is. Yes, a STEMsation is a trailblazer in the field of STEM or in the fields of STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, who are skyrocketing to their highest potential, but doing it with style and grace. And you will definitely see that today. So we're going to get started with our first question. We always just ask an introduction of who they are. You know, we want to get to know them. So we're going to start with Kayla, and then I'll give Kayla the solo right there. Look at Kayla got the solo. Kayla, could you please let us know who you are? Did it freeze?
Yes, it did.
Kayla. I think she might have went out. Let me get her back on. Hold on. Hold on. We got two Kaylas going.
Okay.
Okay, Kayla. Yeah, the other one went out, so I don't know. So I'm going to do this one and see if it'll give you your solo. It says Kayla. Okay, there you go. Okay, start over. Sorry, we had technical difficulties.
No, you're fine. Hi, everyone. My name is Kayla Jordan. I am an electrical applications engineer working at Harman International. My first degree, my undergraduate degree, is in electrical engineering. I received that in 2016, and now I'm going for my MBA at Wayne State University.
Wow, awesome, awesome. Well, welcome again, Kayla. Welcome again. Okay, now we're going to our next guest, which is Minda. Hi, go ahead. Tell us all about you. Let me make sure you're on pause. Okay, there you go. Go ahead.
Hi, so my name is Menda Noor. I'm a software engineer in Burbank. I graduated with my undergrad in computer science with minors in Math and Africana Studies. I'm currently Miss West Los Angeles, USA, and I'm trying to compete, or I will compete, in Miss California USA in January 2019.
Wow. Well, we're so excited for that. Congrats and good luck.
Thank
And we
you.
definitely will be sending all our good vibes and stuff and channeling to make sure you win it because you are gorgeous. So I'm sure
Thank you so
that
much.
and you're smart. That's what we're talking. That's what a STEMsation is. We have style and grace. We're beautiful. We're in our own right. We have our natural hair. We have whatever we want. And we're winning beauty pageants. That's what I love. Go ahead. Yes. Yes. Welcome. Welcome.
Yay.
Yes. All right. So you guys gave us a great introduction. We want to hear about your story. So we're going to give you a chance to say, why did you choose your career? And it's just amazing that we both have engineers on. Sometimes it just doesn't pan out that way. So it's great to hear how, when we say, how did you choose your career and what led you on this path? Because we know something might have inspired you along the way, or you might have changed directions. So we're going to start with you, Kayla. Please let us know how you chose this career. Okay. Can you hear us, Kayla? Oh, we're having issues. Hold on. She's going out, coming back in again.
Oh no.
It's Kayla, I don't know what's going on. Hello.
Okay. I don't know
Like
what's
three,
going on
four
either.
Kaylas up here. Okay, go ahead. So why did you
Okay.
choose the career and what led you to this your journey and what led you to where you're at right now?
Sure. So I've always been interested in mathematics, science, anything where it's like thinking and just learning something new. That's always been me since I was a child. Like my parents always encouraged me to, learn something new, try something new. Even if you still don't understand it, try your best, talk to people. So, going into high school, um, I was like, I want to do something sciencey, quote unquote, but I wasn't really sure if that, entailed, computers, or I was even looking at being like a what is it? Like an astrologist, a physicist, even though I'm horrible at physics, but whatever. I didn't know that at the time. But in my family, like we have a couple of engineers, and I thought it was really cool just hearing what they do day to day, whether it was in automotive or working with batteries or working with you know building architectures, things like that. So I pretty much figured like I would be in engineering, and then once I got to my senior year of high school, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do either electrical or biomedical, and then I just chose the electrical route.
Oh wow, that's
Mhm.
kind of a little bit of my background. I started with electrical engineering, and then life took a just a turn with kids and got married, and so I ended up going for science teaching. But I always think back like I should have stayed with engineering, but it's like it's still my heart, and so I'm actually teaching a renewable energy class this upcoming school year, and it's based on engineering, of course, and we're doing like renewable energy projects and stuff. So I'm like, well, I still get to bring my love in and
Mhm.
still be able to do it, even though I can't, officially have the engineering title. So I just respect what you guys doing. I love how you said, you kind of change, and that's what we want to show people your journey. Like some people think they want to be this, and then when they get into it, they be like, I don't really like this part. And so I like
Mhm.
programs too. It was a program that I was in that you did a little bit of civil, then you did electrical and mechanical. So even though you thought you only want to do electrical, they kind of gave you a little touch of everything. So then you say, oh no, I really like civil. So I think those programs are excellent as well. So
Mhm.
awesome, awesome. All right, our next interviewee, give her solo. Why did you choose your career? Or and
So,
who led you? What was your inspiration? Give us all the goods.
well, I feel like mine was kind of like, because I come from an African background, they kind of give you like three options, which is usually like doctor, lawyer, engineer, pretty much. So
Wow.
I was like debating between the three, actually, just those three. But when I was a kid, me and my younger brother, we used to love, because we traveled all over the country, and it was just me and him like in the back of a van. So we only had each other to keep company. So we'd play a lot of like games like who can build the coolest thing out of this item, or like taking apart a calculator, taking apart all these things. So it really integrated a love of just technology and travel all together. So when I was in college, at first I was actually psychology because I was like, oh, I want to help people and stuff. But then I took
Okay.
my first coding class and I realized that I can actually help a lot more people doing STEM and doing coding because one, if you teach a girl how to code or just teach anybody how to code, you can help them provide for their families, especially in countries like my country, Senegal. You can help them provide for their family by teaching them this type of language or just any universal language. Because I feel like technology is becoming the language now. It's not just, oh, learn English. Now it's like, oh, learn Java, learn Python, or something like that. So I feel like I'm just that much more passionate just about coding and STEM in general. I feel like it's really important for kids to learn STEM and to go into STEM as well.
That is awesome, and I think we all agree with that. We kind of all sound like we got our hands kind of in the tinkering and like wanting to take stuff apart. And that's kind of what I came up with Knowledge in the Enterprises, and the character Nyla Nova is a STEM superhero, but it's a little girl, and it's for her to, play with things and tinker with things and feel for things. Because like you said, nowadays it's not just about knowing your ABCs. You have to be able to problem solve, critical think, even as a young age, is 3 and 4 years old. And like you say, coding, like they're taking coding classes now in preschool. It's like I walked in there like, she knowing binary code already, so it's crazy, like, and so that's where you like you said, we're moving towards. It's not just knowing a foreign language. Like technology is going to be the language of, especially with the internet and Bitcoin and just everything is just wide open now. And so you definitely have to have, even if you don't love it, you have to have a knowledge of it and be exposed to it. So yes,
I totally agree.
Yes, so awesome. All right, so you guys talked about what is there any one person that inspired you, or like one just epiphany, or is it just kind of like of a culminating things over time?
I would say for me, it was just over time.
Okay.
Some of my relatives, I didn't even know if they were engineers, but I saw that they were very good problem solvers. They like to think, they like to, try to put things together and then take them apart and then put them back together again, just to really understand the process. And they're very good arguers as well. So I think that just all of that, coming together and just feeling that confidence, like I can do whatever I want to do. I think that's just what really led me to engineering, because that's pretty much all that engineering is. Like you're solving problems and you're trying to make things better than what they are today. So I received a lot of that. Yeah, I received a lot of that mentality from my family as I was growing up. Like, what can you do to better the people around you?
Right. And I don't know if you guys in the last couple of days on Facebook, there's been this picture, and it's just when you think about people's minds and how, like, in the situation that they're in, where they actually, hold on, let me do this real quick, where they actually built, it was like a big tub of ice, and then they had like a fan taped over the big tub of ice, and then like a spout that came out, and so basically it was like an in-home air conditioner. And I was like,
I saw that.
And I seen it, I was like, man, but when necessity, you're burning up in your house, you're like, okay, I know I need air moving, I need coldness. So it's like, and that's what you said, that's what engineering is, and that's what we want girls of color, and just not just girls of color, but I see this too often, and when I see my students, they come in and they're not confident. And I'm like, girl, you're solving problems all day long. If your blow dryer went out, you will figure out how to way to get your hair. Stuff like that. I have to let them know, like, you solving problems all day long. You can definitely be an engineer. If you had made this trap and this and this and this is doing all this, you can definitely, be an engineer. They're like, no, I can't. I'm like, yes, you can. Well, I'm not smart. You just created this whole thing out of whatever, and they don't have that confidence. And so that's why I wanted to do STEMsation Spotlight, so girls of color can see other girls and women of color doing what they saying and they can't do, because they definitely can do it. And so that's just want them to be able to, experience and see, like, you are smart, you are able to do it. So that's just, my little spiel, like trying to get them, exposure and stuff. So you guys are like pretty much I know you're going back for your MBA or you're going for your master's or just finished your master's. What do you like most about your career? And if you're not fully in your career, what do you like most about what you're studying and what you're doing? And even like what you may want to do, with the education and knowledge that you have right now. And so, Kayla, we'll start back with you.
Sure. So what I like most about my career is that I never thought I would be here. Quite
Oh, I
honestly.
know that's right.
So I currently work for, in the audio industry. So it's dealing with amplifiers, it's dealing with speakers, it's dealing with all these signals that happen in your car and how that's all that processing gets to your ear as music. So as I was, finishing my undergraduate degree and I was applying to places, I was like, oh, I'll just apply here, just to see if I get in or not. Like I never thought, because I initially applied just for a co-op, and then they turned around and said, "Oh no, we'll give you a full-time position."
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, so I was like, wow, like if I had never just thought to apply, like I never would have gotten here. Um, and then pretty much I was a little doubtful because I'm like, oh, I don't really know much about audio, how it all works and things like that. But they were pretty much like, if you're willing to learn, like you're welcome here. So I think that's been the greatest part of my career is because, I love music. I listen to it every day. Like I'm always trying to see the latest tech, trying new headphones, as you can see.
Right.
So
I see it. I was looking over like, what she got on her ears? I want
so it's like, just as a culture, and just, showing people the music I like. And it's like, people just vibing to it, and you're driving all the time in your car. To me, that's just been an amazing part of my career, just being part of that experience of like people just driving to work or driving on road trips, whatever, and
right.
they get the best sound that they can get from us.
Yeah. It was funny. I was in class one day and we were talking about amps and amplifiers. And I said, you guys are too young to remember when the guys used to pull up with the big amps in the back and like you hear boom, 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 and them coming down this boom, boom, boom. I was like, that's science. Like you don't realize that they were amplifying their sound so everybody can hear it. And it would be so, the bass would be so just monstrous as they're driving by, like the windows are shaking. You be in the house like,
Hmm.
oh, and I had a cousin like that. I'll never forget my cousin Rooney. And you would know when he was coming to visit, you'd be like, oh, that's Rooney outside, because you could just hear the music before you even see him or hear the car. So,
Hmm.
and that's what I said. A lot of our young people definitely are into sound and music, and they want to be producers and stuff. And like they don't understand, you need a science background with that. It's not just by hearing
Yeah.
like a beat. You got to know how to put those beats together and hear all
Hmm.
this and what sounds right. And I actually have a friend that's in California as a sound engineer, and he's been on sets and doing like the sound and stuff. I said that is so cool, like I was like, he was like, yeah, and if it's not right, they had to tinker it and stuff. And I was like, it's just so much, and that's what I love about science. It's just all around us, and that's why I try to
Hmm.
tell my students like it's all around us. And so I like that you're in the audio. We never had anyone that's in the audio and sound, and with engineering. I did just add your Kayla, your information of how they can contact you too.
Okay.
Um, and talked about your She Too STEM. You co-host with two other Black female engineers. We got to get them on here too. So you got to now, we always looking for more STEMsations. So I just
Hmm.
posted your information too, so where they can get with you. And you got the budgeting platform you created, the
Hmm.
melanated budget. I see you. I see
Yes.
you. Yes. And then your personal Instagram is Evolving Revolver. I like that. I was like, oh, pow, pow, boom, boom. So yes, yes. All right, Mindy, are you ready to tell us about what you enjoy right now and what you like most?
Yeah, yeah. So,
Okay, great.
what I love about my career is it's, I would say it's more STEM in general, because just like my fellow STEM station was saying, that there's always room to grow. So you don't have to go in being like the top of your class or the top of this and top of that. You can go in as long as you're willing to learn. They will
Yeah,
help. They will help you figure this out, figure that problem out. Just being able to feel comfortable asking a question and not feeling dumb. I feel like that's like one of the things that I would grapple with, especially always being the only Black person in the vicinity. Asking a question, feeling like, oh wow, they're probably judging me and stuff like that. It's usually just in my head. If I just ask a question, I'll save like 4 hours of my life of trying to figure out this problem. So I feel like I just love that I have space like to create and just to grow.
Yes.
I really
Yes.
appreciate that about the STEM.
Now I want to hear a little bit. I know this off top, but how did you get into the pageantry? Like, were you always doing pageants? Like, tell us a little bit about that because that's interesting. I'm just curious.
So that was actually kind of random. I've always loved pageants, but I didn't know I wanted to be in one until she should actually be a STEMsation. There's this girl named Breland Barbie. She's actually going to medical school, and I follow her blogs, and she is a biology graduate from Spelman, and she's doing her master's in physiology, I believe. So yeah, her dream is to be Miss America, and so she was recording her journey applying to Miss America, and I was like, wait, I should apply too. Why not? So she put an idea in my head. So when I applied, I didn't actually think I'd get in. I actually applied during my. I always laugh at that because it's funny, but I applied for Miss California during my advanced software engineering master's course. So it's just really weird because it's like two different worlds kind of like blending together.
Oh yes, very much so.
Yeah. So when I actually got accepted, I was just like, oh, well, this is weird. So,
wow.
I mean, it all worked out.
What was your talent?
So for Miss USA, there is no talent.
It's
Miss America is the one that actually has the talent.
Okay.
Yeah, so Miss USA actually goes to Miss Universe, and Miss America is just
that's right.
Yeah, okay. Different organizations.
Okay. Oh wow, well, that's awesome. Well, congratulations to you as well. Now we talked about all the things that we like about our career and our journey. What is something you would change? And so, if you could change anything, Kayla, what would you change about? And it may be just something small because like I said, or some things that if you had power to, what would you want to see different?
What I would change is kind of like how people tend to second guess what you're saying.
Oh,
yes.
Yes.
and it's harder because as Minda was saying, as a Black woman being the only one in the room, right? You're already if you don't have this problem, that's great. But I tend to have like a lot of anxiety about the things I'm saying or the problems I'm facing or how I want to communicate the issues that I'm seeing. So when someone says like, oh, are you sure about that? Or, oh, no, that's not it. And it's like, well, yes, it is. So it's, you have to, without, coming off as too aggressive, quote unquote, whatever.
Right.
You have to almost prove yourself over and over again. Like, I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm saying. I know, especially because in the audio industry, it's so subjective. How we hear things, it varies across all different types of people and individually. So when I'm saying I'm hearing something wrong, they're like, so it's kind of like I get a lot of side eye. So it's gotten better over time the longer I've been there because it's like, I've essentially trained myself to hear certain things. But sometimes you still get these people who think our system should sound a certain way, and it's like, no, this is design intent. It's one thing to say you don't like how it sounds versus it's being completely wrong. So then sometimes that does affect me mentally, like, dang, was I tripping? And it's like, no. So it's just a back and forth, and me wanting to progress and become a better engineer. It's like you have to really fight that almost daily to become better.
And it's funny, just even with me teaching, I've been in in the meetings, and they talking about closing the achievement gap, and I'm like, well, have you guys tried this? And they're like, it won't work. And I'm like, but if we're talking about closing the achievement gap of African Americans, and I'm the only African American in the room, I might know a little bit of something, it's like, no. I said, what have y'all thought about? No. Okay, but you might want to listen to me. I have some experience, So it's just amazing how, like you say, that we get second guessed all the time, and just by our first of all being a woman and then a woman of color, it's like they don't realize that we know as much or more than they do, but they don't want to never accept it. So they're going to always downplay any suggestions we give or anything that our voice, they're like, "I know that's not going to work," and we're like, "Yes." And I said, and I like that you said that you are stop second guessing yourself. Like we have to stop doing that. We like, nope, stand up for ourselves. Do not dim our light. We're going in there like, no, we know what we're talking about. I have the degrees, I have the experience, just like you do. So I know what I'm talking about. So great bringing that up. So thank you for that. Yes. How about you, Mindy? How about what would you oh, I put your name instead of just your face. Okay, there you go. What would you change? I know you kind of agree with the last thing, but I know some other stuff you put in your article too. So
yeah, I mean that was a really good one what she said because I really felt that to my core. Like the second guessing thing is like very, very real. Even if you don't second guess, it's like even when you know you're right, sometimes you just don't want to say anything. The whole fear, so that's a struggle. But what I would change, I feel like I would change two things. One would be work-life balance in computer science. Yeah, a lot of people, especially as a software engineer, you feel like you have to be there like 18 hours a day or something like that to compete with the other person because you want to be at the top. But the second one for sure would be diversity because I'm so used to being the only Black person just in the vicinity. And I realize that that's not normal. You know, like even when I was in college, when I used to go to all my classes, I'm always the only Black person. Fine. But then since I also have a minor in Africana Studies, when I go to like an Africana Study class, I'm just surrounded by Black people. I'm just like, it's like a different world. And I realized, wow, it shouldn't be like that. So I really wish that we can change the diversity issue. I mean, I'm sure that's a STEM thing worldwide, but specifically in computer science, I feel like it's just very lonely. You know, when you're the only Black person, like they say inappropriate things or they don't know what to say. Yeah. And it's tiptoeing around you. It's just
right. It's just awkward. It's like there's an elephant in the room. Yes.
Yeah, it's just always awkward. Like it's always like the word Black is like it's above your head, you know, all the time. It gets exhausting. So I definitely the diversity issue.
Yes, and that's one of the things I said what I wanted to bring a spotlight to us because I want more girls of color to really want to go if they have the mindset and they really want to go into these particular fields, let them know that you might be the only one right now, but if more of us go in, our numbers are going to get there. And so, you know, we got to add to it. And so we can't be afraid not to. Well, I don't want to do it because I don't want to be the only one. You might be the only one because I was just talking to my husband from my high school, Gary Roosevelt, and from Indiana. Our whole high school was all Black, all Black. Everybody was Black. You know, we had Caucasian teachers, but the student population were all Black. Then I went to my school, you know, for my college, and it was a local community college. And in my engineering classes, it was only maybe one or two of us in there. So it was a complete culture shock. We were like, you know, and so like, you're like, and then they're all together, and you know, and then we had like a little break room and everybody's watching TV and stuff. And it reminded me on that like higher learning. It's like everybody was broke off into their own little group. So you had your little Black group here, you had your, you know, your white group here, you had your Asian group here, and it was like, man, you know, we still kind of tend to be all together. And then when we have to be separate or, you know, in a different, we're the only ones represented, just get like you're real lonely. And it's like, man, like I don't want to always feel that way. That's why I need more of my sisters and brothers to come on in, come on and join us to these fields. Like, you know, we could do this. Like, don't second guess yourself. So, yes. So awesome. Yes. And the next question kind of goes with this. Let me make sure this. Yeah. What is this? How do you combat the stigma of being a woman of color in your particular, you know, day to day, or you know, in your meetings and how do you know, like you said, when you do hear those little comments or people looking at you a little different, like how do you combat that? I'm sure with the positivity, but what are some things that you can like help other people like to kind of get through this a little bit?
So in the beginning, I used to have like really bad anxiety because like how Minda was saying, like I'm the only black engineer on my team. And
Right.
there's like 10 of us. So what I would do is just be like, you know what, like this is me. Like it's so much more stressful trying to be someone that I'm not than just being me. So at the end of the day, I'm like, if they don't like it, they don't like it, but I know me. So if I felt like something was wrong, and I'm pretty was reserved on a day-to-day basis, but I'm like, if you want something to change, you have to say something. And if you're
Yeah.
wrong, you're wrong, okay? But I just do it anyway. So it's
Yeah.
like, practicing and getting comfortable with using your voice as a Black woman. I think
Ooh,
we
using
tend to
your
be looked. Hmm?
I'm just typing your comments in here. Are you conquer your it's just to be someone else? Come on, keep talking. I'm adding this in here.
Okay, no,
Use
you're
your
fine.
voice. Yes, love it.
So then I know that, as Black women, we're seen as either too aggressive or, we should just be
Mhm.
submissive and do whatever is told for us to do. And to combat that, you have to do things, that show like, I'm not that at all. It shouldn't have to be that way, but people really don't understand until you actually put it into action.
Yeah.
So, if it's like a kind of like a hard project, I'm like, okay, I'll do it.
Mhm.
No question,
Mhm.
whatever. If it's something like, oh, like we're not really sure where we want to go with this, blah blah blah, then I speak up. Even if it's above my pay grade, I still
Right.
feel I have some input um in it.
Right.
So,
We have value. Like you say, we have value and power in our voice. And it
mhm,
doesn't help anyone if we shrink. Because like you
right.
said, you might you when you're speaking up, you're answering the problem, and so and that's what you've been doing since you was a little girl. So now why is it any difference whether it's above your pay grade or not? If you have the answer, hey, they need to hear it. And so I love
Mhm,
that feel very confident in doing that. So that's awesome.
mhm.
Yeah. Yes. All right, your turn.
Exact same thing. Honestly, like literally, I just don't avoid being a woman of color, basically. So I just make sure that I don't pretend to. It's just annoying because, like, ever since you're young, sometimes like you feel like you have to fit in, so you just
Mhm.
kind of avoid your blackness as much as possible. Sometimes, you put on like the white voice or just things like that. So as you get older, especially when you are the only representative of your race, usually in a vicinity, you start to care less. So specifically for me, like, I don't care to act like a different person. I don't care to minimize who I am or minimize the stereotypes that you think that I have or my race has. So if I don't like something, I'm going to say it. If I think you should do this, you should do it that way. And if they see me as the angry Black person, I mean, so be it. But so long as I'm speaking up for the person who's coming behind me, then honestly, I'm satisfied.
Yes. I so agree. I so agree. And that's awesome. So, what tips and advice would you give someone that's coming through the ranks and they may not feel as confident or might not know where to turn for answers? What tips and advice would you give them? And Kayla, we'll start back with you.
So what I would give them is just to one network.
And that,
I've
yeah.
definitely, even though I'm the only Black engineer on my team, I've networked with other Black people in my company. So whether they're another engineer or a director, whatever, just networking with them and understanding their path and where they want to go and maybe where they can help me along the way, has really helped me in terms of figuring out what I want to do next in my career. And I would also say just um, because I tend to forget all I did in undergrad. Like if you're not certain about something, it's okay to dig a little. It is
Mm.
okay to admit that you don't know everything and that you will
Ooh,
follow up. Like I am the most following up person like ever because I'm like, you know what? I'll get back to you on that, and then I come back 100% like, yep, it's this and that and
yeah,
this.
yeah.
So it's okay to not be okay. It's definitely okay to just try to make sure everything mostly everything's in place.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know we live in a fast-paced society, but
Ooh,
sometimes like certain things just need a little bit more time, and it's okay to speak up and say when you need, a little respite.
right.
And finally, I would say just, you know, acknowledge other Black women, even if you
Ooh,
don't know
say
them.
that. Yes.
So, like, I see a lot of Black women, that are new, which is great. So, in my building, at least, like, we're diversifying. We're having more Black women join, whether they're engineers or not. It's still STEM
Right.
related. So when I see someone new, or someone, I keep walking past them, I'm like, hey, how are you? It doesn't have to be a full conversation, but to me, sometimes it's hard to socialize with other people because you already know that like Minda was saying, like you're already alone in the first place. So it may be hard to, reach out to someone that looks like you, and it may be rare, but when you do see them, say something. Even if
Yeah.
it's like, oh, you look cute today, or oh,
Right.
like, you
Girl.
know, like, just how are you? Makes
Yeah.
someone else's day so much better, and it just makes it so much easier.
It does just remind me of a story. I was subbing in a school, and another black woman, because I didn't really see any black women teachers or teacher assistants around. And so this black woman walked into the class, and I was looking at her like she was a unicorn. I was like, and so now we're like best of friends. We had a book release party yesterday. She was there. I was like, hey girl, like, how are you? Like you don't know, you about to be my new sister, like, cause I'm new to Florida. And so I was like, hey, I don't know nobody here, so like doing that because they, might feel lonely too. And and it's like, why? We don't have to be always enemies or like animosity against other black women. It's like we should be trying to build a tribe. Like we are very powerful and we're more powerful in numbers. And so it's like it doesn't hurt anything just to say hi or hey girl or something, because they may need something one day or you may need something. It's like, well, let me go ask such and such, at least let me know your name, something. So yes, I think that's awesome. Like you said, that's I've been tweeting them, writing the little comments in there, what you said. But yeah, good stuff. Yes, yes. All right, Minda, how about you? Tips and advice.
Okay, so I would first say you need to make sure this is really what you want to do.
Woo.
Yes,
STEM,
absolutely.
it's not a walk in the park.
No.
From getting the degree to actually getting the degree, every step is like you are always using your brain. You are always having to sacrifice something, sacrifice parties, sacrifice concerts. You're going to sacrifice for this major. So please make sure it's actually what you want to do. Second, make sure you're surrounded by people who have the same mindset as you. Because, like I said, this major is hard, and sometimes it won't take you 4 years. It doesn't matter as long as you finish.
Right.
But if you are surrounded by somebody who doesn't want to study all the time, or who just says, "Okay, let's just blow it off and let's go to a party," you're not going to get your stuff done. You need to be surrounded by people who are also trying to reach goals. And once you actually finish your goal and you're actually in the career that you want to do, I'm lucky that I work in a company that doesn't ever make me feel uncomfortable. Everyone's really nice. But if you do get a comment that's just inappropriate or uncomfortable, you need to say something, because you teach people how to treat you, honestly.
You do.
Yeah, and you don't have to be rude about it. Just, let them know that made you uncomfortable. Or if you don't feel comfortable saying it to that person, maybe speak to HR. But you have to say something, because if you don't, it will happen again.
And will happen again. Yes. Stand up for yourselves. Those are awesome tips, ladies. Thank you. Yes. Yes. And it's so funny when like one person say a tip, we all be like, yes, yeah, like it's because we all experiencing it. And so this is what this is for. Once again, I keep saying that, but for others to know that they're not alone and use some of these tips in your everyday life, and it will make it a lot easier. And like you said too, going for STEM, anything in STEM, that's why we don't have a lot of representation, because it's not easy, but it's so worth it. So even though it's not easy, like you said, it may take you longer than 4 years. It might take you a little bit longer, but the benefit and the prize at the end is so great that, you have to kind of work yourself through it. And I like when you said about like-minded people, because you can't have all these tests and exams and then somebody want to party all the time. You like, nah, man, you're going to take me away. I don't want to be here for 10 years now. I knew like, it's all fun and games. I'll catch the next party. We're going to be able to party, but I want to be able to party with some money too. So I need to get this career. Book partying is not fun. It's not fun at all. So yes. So what you ladies, we talked about your journeys up to here. This next question is, what was your family influence? Like what part of your family influence? And I know, remember you talked about like, like how your culture almost say, hey, you're going to be one of three things. So let's talk about your family influence right now to even get you to this point.
So because I only had one of three choices, I already kind of knew what track that I was going to be going on. And since my brother and I were very close, and this degree, it sucked. I'll be honest. Like, it was very hard to get through. So I was very, very lucky to have such a strong, I guess, network of people who were trying to help me get there. So like my brother, I would like teach him. He would make me teach him complex algorithms or equations from like calculus 3 or stuff like that, just so that I can understand it better. So I feel like he kind of has the same degree that I do, honestly, because I taught him most of the things. So just people who would like listen to me and make sure that I was okay, and would also constantly tell me that I can do it, even though I was coming home at 2 a.m. just crying. They would always make sure that I was okay. And that's what's so important about having people around you who understand what you're doing, who are okay with you having to sacrifice time away from them, and who are also seeking like-minded goals. Because everyone around me made sure that I reached my goal, and I wouldn't have my degree without my family influence on it.
Oh wow, that's awesome. And I like, we all know that having that family influence, you got to have a good support system, because it's not easy. And when you need to cry to someone or be like, I'm giving up, and they like, no, get your butt back in there and do it. You need that person. So that's good that you had their family to influence you as well and just support you, just being there for you and stuff. So how about you, Kayla? Who you have?
So mainly like my mom and my brother. So my brother, even though his degree is in, art and illustration, like he's better at physics and chemistry than me. So I would go to him like, yo, I need help with these problems, because I can't do it. So, but he would always like help me, like ask me how I was doing, or like, help him since he was a struggling artist, whatever. But just knowing that we're both like-minded in the sense of like really liking science and art and how it all ties together, that just really made getting the degree so much easier. And then with my mother, she never told me like I couldn't do it. She would ask me, are you okay? It's okay. Like, she just didn't want me to break down, but she was like, okay, you're good. Okay, you can keep going. You can do it. Like, it's okay. It's going to be hard, I know, but you can do it. So really those two really helped me, complete my degree.
Right. It's almost like when you go up for your degree, they should be just right there with you. Like, yes, this is a family affair. Like, we all did this. Like, and that's awesome to have that. And so we're just encouraging our young girls that if you don't have a strong family unit, find a mentor. Find someone that will, be there with you, because you're going to need to be required to. Because I even still have a mentor to this day. I was like, okay, I think I want to get out of it, because I was assistant principal. I said, I don't think I want to do that anymore. I have a 4-year-old now. Like I'm talking to her, and she's like, well, yeah, like still at this, and I'm 20 years into my career. So it's like you still need a mentor. So if you don't have a strong family unit, or some people just don't know how to help and support you, get a mentor. And so mentors are awesome as well. So
yeah, and I would agree with that, because like sometimes just for my family, I just need the emotional support. I don't need to be told exactly where to go or how to do it. It's just like, be there for me when I need you. And then the mentors, it's like, okay, you're already in the career that I'm thinking about going into, or you have the position that I would like to get to. Right. Help me in that regard. Yeah. Based on career, like how do I get there? So I think understanding people's roles in your lives makes getting a degree so much easier. And once you do have that degree, how can you make it go even further for you?
Right. All right. Because I think about when you just said that, because I know my mom, when I was going to high school and I didn't like certain jobs, and she was quick to say, well, baby, you don't need that job. And, and sometimes you need to be like, no, mama, I need you to tell me to stick with it. But, I'm her baby. So like, like you say, if I'm taking a class, I'm like, Mom, it's too hard. I can't do it. And, she's like, well, come on out, baby. No, Mama, you're not supposed to say that, but she want her baby or her. So like you said, it's just those roles where I know if I call my mom and say, I want out of something, and she's on, she said, hello. She just got no, hey, Mom, hi. But she'll be like, no, baby. But then, as I got older, she had more tougher skin. Like, no, you could do this. But, like you need to know who you can go to, because if you're just trying to get a way out and you always go to the person that's going to tell you, well, just come on out, you're never going to complete it or finish any goal. So you definitely need that. All right. And so speaking of goals, one of our last questions, and this has just been awesome, ladies. What are your future goals? Where are we going to see you in 5, 10 years, 15 years, even next year? Like, what are your future goals? And it can be, professionally and personally as well. But if you have a program, talk about that, how you want to see it grow. I know, Kayla, you have your podcast. Like, talk about that here. What's your future goals?
So one of my personal future goals, like I've been working on it, is getting back in shape because
Ooh, yeah,
look, look, okay. But yeah, I didn't feel good, physically. So I was like, this in my head doesn't matter if my body can't maintain none of it, you know what I'm saying? So I've been like trying to hit the gym like 6 days a week.
Ooh, look at
Drinking look, okay. Like drinking more water, just really trying to take care of myself, because you only get one mind and one body. So and having like been dealing with depression, anxiety, and all of that, it's like just really trying to take care of myself, because that can affect you mentally and physically. And if something happens at work, that does not help. So, I can't do anything if I'm not good, and if I'm not healthy. So, been working on that. And then with She Too STEM, like we're just trying to grow. We're just trying to encourage people, like how we were saying, seeing another Black woman, in the room, just acknowledging those people that we can't see at all, and trying to reach them in that regard. And finally, like next year, I want to travel out the country. I've never left the country. I just got my global entry card a couple weeks ago, because it's like, so it's like, I'm trying to set myself up for success. It's like, you have this card now. There's no excuse. You can't say, oh, I hate the line at TSA. No, like you can go now.
Wow.
And then in 5 years, well, next year I hope to have my MBA. So then in 5 years, I think it'll be really great if I was working more on the marketing side of things, either marketing or sales. I think it'll be really cool to travel and talk to people about audio. See why they purchase certain items or things like that. Like, what do they want to hear once they connect their music, to their headphones or earbuds, whatever. So I think that would be really great in 5 years or less.
Sounds good. Sounds good. All right. Miss Lady, are you ready? You was having some technical difficulties. I can only see. I was like, what's she doing over there? Stuff was falling in.
I was on because it was like dying.
Yes. But, you ready? So, your future goals.
Yeah, my goal for next year, of course, one of them is to win Miss California USA. Yeah. And after that, my lifetime goal is to actually visit every country in the entire world. So I'm hoping in 5 years that I can at least visit one country in every continent, so that I can like finally, get started. Because like Kayla, I haven't actually visited outside the country just yet, because school has like really tied me down. So now that I'm in my career and I have a lot more freedom, I'm really trying to do a lot more traveling. And I'm hoping to start doing more side projects, so like remote work, coding for other people, because that's really good money. And I'm hoping to like kind of do that and travel at the same time. So that would be like the ultimate goal.
All right. Those are remarkable goals, man. Very hefty goals, man. I know that. I think that's all of ours, just trying to travel, but then you have to find time, and it's so much. But you got to take care of yourself too, and that's a goal. You have to make sure. And just like Kayla said, the working out, I'm like, okay, I got to get back on it, because I've been out for the summer, and so I'm like, on the summer, I'm really gonna be on it. And I've been like Netflixing, binge watching. I was like, oh my goodness, like why do they have so many great series? Like I can't get on. So it's like, okay, when school starts in 2 weeks, I'll be back on the schedule. So I think I'll be able to do it better. But now it's a wash. It's above me now. I'll be back on. So, yes. All right, so we're heading to the end. Anything you would like to lasting thoughts Our last question is usually like ways that you want to give back to our community, where there could be mentoring, or I know you want to start like a coding program, or you said you want to educate people on audio. So this is your chance to say how you want to give back and any lasting comments you may have before we log off. So just go ahead, Kayla, we'll start back with you.
Yes. So a way I've been trying to give back is trying to help people with their personal finances.
Ooh,
Um,
that's
so
That's a good one.
look, so for $20 for 2 months, it's
Mhm.
pretty much a weekly call, an hour or so of me talking to you, trying to understand, like, hey, like, do you understand budgeting? What's really weighing you down? Do you understand your debts? Your interest rates, things like that. Because some people, they just really go all their lives either not understanding or just being so fearful of it that they never accumulate the wealth they could have had if they really handled it in the first place. Um, so that's just me trying to give back and use this MBA at the same time.
Wow.
Yes.
Because I feel that, it's, we always say like, oh, we want to do better as a race. We have to, buy black. And it's like, okay, you buy black, but are you saving black as well?
Right.
Like, are
And are
you
you
doing the whole full
educated?
circle? You know?
Right.
So with that, that's how I've been trying to give back.
That's
Trying to
awesome.
do more workshops and talk to people that I've never met before, just to get them thinking like, you may not have all the money in the world, but just try to manage what you have and start there. Um, and also just really trying to be there for people and check up on people. Um, if you ever go through something, just let me know. Like, you don't have to tell me everything, but I'm here. And I
Right.
feel that we struggle with that a lot, especially as Black women, because we tend to think like, oh, it's all on me. Like, I don't want to be a burden or anything like
Right.
that.
We
So,
have the superwoman complex. Like we can do
hmm
it all. We don't need no help. And then we break down and you're like, well, where was everyone? Well, you pushed them away. You said,
exactly.
but you can't
So,
do it. I can do it.
so like, by giving my time, I'm trying to, you know, help myself be a little bit more vulnerable and open to help along the way as well. So that's how I've been trying to give back.
Awesome. My husband, he usually watches this, but he's at a conference, but he's all about because he does health and life insurance, and he does like financial planning. He's always even got my 4 year talking about financial freedom. She's right around here. Yeah, only left off 70% and invest like he's already instilling it. And as he does that, then he fusses at me because I'll go and I'll have a budget, but
hmm
then I'll be out and I see something. I'll be like, well,
uh,
the money from next month I'm gonna get. He's like, that's not how a budget works. I was like, I'm still learning.
Mm-mm-mm.
I know I'm bad. I might have to get on that call with you guys because you say it, I be like, you harsh and you mean to me. Stop it. But maybe if you say it, then I'll listen. Cause when this, like parents can't teach their own kids because we feel like we heard it. So my husband telling me this, I want to hear, but maybe if someone else tell me, I'll listen because I don't do that. I know it. Sorry, Nate. I don't. He knows it. I get frustrated on a weekly.
Mm-mm.
Yes. So, well, that's awesome. That's awesome ways, like you say, just empowering and educating our community. Even if it's not STEM, STEM, that's still math, but it's like really using our resources and financial, like, we got fiscal literacy that we need because we don't have it. We get money and we're like, it's burning a hole in my pocket. Let me spend it. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
no, save it, do this, invest, do something with this. So I think that's awesome. Yes. All right. Oh, we have a guest that actually said something so far. Usually we have plenty, but I think because we're an hour earlier, wasn't expecting us, even though we advertised. But is it a Tiba Nelson? Anybody know? Is it a Tiba Nelson? Nobody knows. Okay, well, she says hi, beautiful queen. So hi.
Hi.
Yes,
Hello.
yes, hello. All right. What are your plans of giving back in this? What is it? West California,
Oh.
2019.
Miss West LA, USA.
What's LA? What's LA? I just yes.
So, my way of giving back is I really want to do a lot more, but I have a talk that I'm going to be giving in UCLA for Black Girls Code to
Mhm.
speak with Black girls about the industry, how to get into the industry, the issues they'll have, and just giving them overall confidence. So I want to do a lot more talks in high schools, middle schools, elementary
Yeah.
schools, even to just show that, you know, we're out there and that there's actually representation, and just to give them more confidence going into college and actually majoring into STEM.
I think that's awesome. That's awesome. Ladies, I don't want to let you go. This has been awesome. It's been very enlightening, and I know that our audience has been enriched. And what happens is, if we don't have a lot of viewers right now, it gets played over and over. And if you guys share it out as well, and then a lot of people come through and they start adding comments later, you know, just like any live, once they watch it later and stuff. So, but is there anyone you want to say hi to before we get off, or any lasting comments, or you could tell our viewers where they can follow you and find you? I added it to our comments, but if you want to let them know as well how they can keep in touch with you if they have questions, your websites, you know, anything you want to say before we have to get off of here.
Yeah, so She Too STEM, that is TOO. That's how one of our co-hosts, Elena, always says it during the show.
I know. I'm like, did I do it right? I might have put it on. I did it right. I did it right. Yes.
Yeah, but it's just 3 Black women, you know, all STEM degrees, just talking about you know, what it's like being in, you know, different industries. So, you know, I'm in audio. Elena, she's in the utilities industry, and then Jessica, she's in kind of like the startup in terms of like software engineering, things like that. So just like different backgrounds, but we all know each other, you know, just from getting our degrees at the same time. So it's just really cool. It's lighthearted, it's goofy, it's ratchet, but at the same time, just trying to
have me on there one time. I want to come. I want to be on there. It sounds amazing.
But yeah, we're just trying to show, like, you know, Black women can be in STEM and be funny and great all at the same time. So,
yeah, we have personalities, you know, like you said, we can be ratchet, we can be queens, we can, you know, we can do all of it and still be ourselves. And so that's what I love about it. And that's kind of what a STEMsation is, you know, gotta throw that out there. Yes, yes. All right. All right. So if we can definitely hopefully be able to get them on as well, and, you know, do some collaboration. That would be awesome. Yes. Plug. Yes. All right, Mimby. How would you want to give back? And then anybody you want to say hi, or, you know, last question, thoughts, anything?
Hi to my friends and family. I guess you have all the information down below, but everything, literally everything, all the social media, my website, everything, all Senegalese. I try to keep it like uniform. Yeah. So you can reach me there, DM me, ask me any questions. I answer all of my DMs that are not creepy. So please send me all the questions that you possibly have. And that's it.
Okay, pronounce your name again, because I'm sure I've been butchering it a little bit. So say it again. Okay. It's so beautiful how you say it. I just love it.
So my full name is Mbendandor.
Yes, I love it. All right, ladies. Well, as like I said, it's coming to an end. We have given our audience, I'm sure, a wonderful, impactful hour of just different backgrounds, but all, you know, wanting the same thing, wanting us to be powerful in our voices, wanting us to be empowered when we go into these classrooms, into these boardrooms, into these labs. We don't want to shrink anymore. We're going to let our light shine, and we're going to support each other. We're going to speak when we see each other. We're going to, you know, we're going to ask you okay today? Do you need anything? You know, we're going to stop getting away from, we're going to get away from these stigmas of that we're angry and we can't get along and we don't work well together. No, we do. And we want them to see positive images, and you guys have definitely provided that this evening. So I thank you guys for being here. I don't want to hold up you too much more of your Sunday, so I just want to thank you guys for coming. Enjoy the rest of your week. Have a STEMsational week. If you have not gotten a chance to read up on these wonderful ladies, both their article links are in the comments, but you can also go to NileyDenae.com. Also, a quick shameless plug where we also have our book, Who is Nyla Nova? So you have any little girls that may be your nieces, daughters, people at church, some your neighbors, get them a nice little book. It talks about how she becomes her STEM superhero. So just have to throw that out there. NileyDenae.com. Ladies, thank you. Thank you so much for taking this time out. I'm going to end the broadcast, but you guys stay on for one more second. Once we finish. So
all right, thank you.
Thank you, audience, for tuning in. We will be again here next week with 2 more lovely STEM stations. We will be back at our regular time at 6 p.m. So see us there. Thank you, guys. Please share this out so more people can be witness of what this wonderful night has been about and what all these wonderful words and these sensational women have provided for us this evening. So thank you, guys. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.